Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Sheffield City Hall for a feast for Yorkshire boxing today, and a number of top fighters. I think a couple of round of applause firstly as we're in Yorkshire for a number of top fighters here today. The reigning and defending super bantamweight European champion Gavin McDonnell is in the house today. Fresh off an incredible victory on Saturday, now a real world level featherweight. The Leeds Warrior, Josh Warrington's just arrived in the place. Sheffield Steel, the special one. Give it up for Kell Brook in the place over there. And up here, a young man, I've got to tell you, is one of the best stories in British boxing, and I think deserves a huge round of applause after that wonderful performance on Saturday, defending his WBA bantamweight title, Jamie McDonnell. I thought as we were in Sheffield and Yorkshire today, we'd combine the two press conferences of Kell Brook and Jamie McDonnell. Again, after that wonderful performance, we had the show in Leeds on Saturday, and my old man made the trip out there, much to the stick that Jamie's given me, and it was wonderful to watch on the TV. You know, as a fan, I thought he boxed absolutely sensationally, and you know, one underrated fighter. And as a promoter, there's nothing better to see someone like Jamie go on and not just achieve in the sport, but to go on and secure the futures of course, his family. And now, really, we look into a wonderful period coming up for Jamie McDonnell, where, you know, the biggest fights in world boxing at any weight, as he tells me, but particularly at bantamweight now, and I'm so excited to be a part of it. A young man who has been a huge part of his recent success, and I think deserves a lot of credit. Some people don't know that the Kameda call for the rematch came a little bit late after Jamie's 7 holidays after the first fight, and the camp wasn't probably as long as they would have quite liked, but he worked so hard with Dave Coldwell to get himself ready, and he deserves a lot of credit as well. Dave Coldwell, talk us through the trip and your experiences in Texas.
It was a lot better than the first experience in Texas, to be honest. I knew that the first fight was a nip and tuck sort of fight. Eddie says that we was got the rematch. It was great money. It makes sense. It's the biggest fight out there. Jamie wants the biggest fights. Everybody's saying, you know, what you're going back out there for. Boxing's about, you know, making the most out of your belts. Belts don't pay your bills. It's what comes with the belts, and you've got to be prepared to take the risky fights, but the fights that give you the most financial reward. So Jamie wanted the Kameda rematch, but he also wanted his holidays. So he'd gone out on holiday. How many holidays do you have? About 2 in between.
2, yeah.
And I was always saying to him, listen, because at that point I wasn't his trainer, but I was his manager still, so I'm advising him, listen, I need you to keep your weight in shape, get yourself some runs in, because Eddie said that the fight probably going to be the first week in September, but I was telling Jamie it's probably going to be the last week in August to start off with, because I didn't trust him. And as it turned out, the fight got announced first week in September. Jamie walked into the gym when he came back off holiday, very heavy. I'm not going to tell you what it was, but it was over welterweight championship limit. So we had 7 weeks basically in which to work on technique, work on his fitness, his strength, but more importantly as well, work on his diet. Now, a man that I've got to give a lot of respect to that helps us with the diet is Dave Stash from Nourish Foods. We worked very close alongside him, bringing his weight down right, making sure that he was eating good, nutritious food that his body can use rather than just fill him up. Jamie's not used to eating when it comes to the last week, especially the fight. He was eating meals right up. In fact, the night before the weigh-in, he had his meal, and then on the morning just before we went to the weigh-in, he had a nice surprise because he had a slice of toast with banana and honey. So mentally, he went into the weigh-in knowing that he'd done everything right and he was in great shape. And the camp was a great camp. We had some fantastic sparring and absolutely out of this world bantamweight prospect called Ryan Burnett. I had up for sparring after day 1. I sent his manager a text, Adam Booth, and I said I want to kidnap him and take him to Texas with us. So I didn't want to risk going over to Texas, not having sparring lined up, you know, people out there, he can let you down last minute. So we took Ryan Burnett over. We had some great sparring with him, with Jamie's brother Gavin as well, mixing it in. So preparation was fantastic, and I think when prep goes great, when you've got a good team around you. Jamie Sheldon came over to his hands, to his cuts, just be part of the team. You know, we had a great team. You know, everything was settled, everything was fine. Great hotel. Jamie just relaxed with his family, with his wife and his daughter Saskia, just chilling in the hotel, weren't knocking him out, running about here, there, anywhere. So he was getting his rest, doing his work, and on fight night, it all went right.
And obviously, looking to the future now, some huge fights, huge paydays, everything. I mean, it's an unbelievable turnaround. Say a turnaround of a career, but really now involved in, you know, he's arguably the biggest name in the division now, and so many big nights ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Jamie's one of these guys that is won all the titles that there is to win. You know, he keeps winning titles, and I remember him when he was boxing at area title level, and it's similar. It's a similar kid to like a Clinton Woods, where when I first watched Clinton Woods, I thought you wouldn't look at them and think that they're going to go on to become stars and world champions. And with Jamie, when I used to see him box, you just think he's a decent kid, he's a good kid, domestic level, and that's it. But he's one of these that you keep stepping up the opposition, you keep giving big challenges in front of him, give him a big carrot, because he's very motivated by finances, as you know, and he just wants to satisfy his hunger financially and provide for his family. So if you keep giving him a big carrot in front of him, he has got an immense will to win. He really has, and he's one of the few people that I've worked with where if you tell him to do something in between rounds, they'll go out there, and even though it's a hard fight or it's a tough fight, you're in with a dangerous sparring partner or whatever, they'll go out there and try it. A lot of fighters will second guess themselves a little bit and just put that little bit break on. But when I was showing him videos of sparring and he's seeing things that he's doing, my belief is a fighter sees that if he sees the work that he's doing in the gym, in sparring, if he sees what he's doing and he's working on, mentally they don't think they're getting any better. But once they actually see it on screen and they can see what they're doing, all of a sudden they believe that they're getting better, they believe that it's working, so it makes them want to do it more. And that's what was happening with Jamie. I sent him a couple of videos of his sparring, and he was telling Gavin, he's telling me, I can see what we're working on. So therefore, he's having the confidence to pull it off, having the confidence to do it. Then by the time it comes around to fight time, you know, he's one of those guys that will just switch on and just go out there and do it. And it's great to work with. It's great to work with the corner because he listens. He doesn't panic, and he'll listen. You can have a conversation with the corner.
Jamie, obviously, I know when a rematch came up for the deal that was put on the table, you felt that you could make this fight easier the second time round, and you really did that.
That's it, you know. Eddie said, "Oh, we've got the rematch. If you want it, it's this much money." I said, "I'll have the rematch. Get me that money." Yeah, I trained hard. Like we said, we had 6-7 week. Absolutely smashed the training. Best I've ever felt. Got in there. You know, I wanted to make a statement. You know, we're thinking about moving up. So if I move up, you know, I want to make a statement at bantamweight, and I wanted to stop Kameda, but I didn't. I felt like I could have put a bit more pressure on and maybe stopped him. But everything I was doing in the fight was so comfortable, and I knew I was winning the fight. You know, obviously I didn't know if I'd end up getting the decision, but I felt like I was winning the fight so easy. There was no need to change anything. So when the final bell come, I know I'd smashed it, but then I started thinking, I just hope they don't give it in. So when they said, "Oh, I'm still," you know, the best feeling, you know, any fighter can have out there, it's amazing.
Obviously, just thinking about it there in my head, I think 4 world title fights in 14 months. You know, you boxed in Wembley to win the WBA title, you defended it in Liverpool in November, and then you boxed in Texas early in the year, and then Texas obviously on September the 6th. So it's been an incredible 14 months for you, and life-changing really.
It is, you know, but you've got to keep the ball rolling, so you need to line that next fight up. You know, while I'm feeling good and fit and strong, you know, you don't want to have 2, 3, 4 months out of the ring. You know, you want to have a few weeks off, have a break, and then get straight back in it. You know, keep the momentum going, and hopefully, you know, can make hopefully a big name at bantamweight before we move up. So, you know, I'm gonna go away, put my feet up for a couple of weeks, and hopefully be back in the gym. You know, ready for another big fight.
I know obviously we joke about what you want in your career, but probably now you're in a position where you must sort of wake up and think, blimey, and what is the 12, 18 month plan in your head? This saves us having a meeting later on as well, by the way. But now you're in you're almost free rolling in your career. You've achieved so much, financially, and obviously the belts as well. That so much is ahead of you. Where do you want to go now? Where do you see the next 12 or 18 months?
I see probably, I'd like to get one more fight in before Christmas, probably at bantamweight, see how that fight goes. Move up to super bantamweight. Hopefully win a world title before end of next year at super bantamweight. Just rack as many wins up and big money fights as I possibly can. I always said I wanted to be retired at 30. I'm 30 in March. I'm not going to start knocking it on the head now. So I think a couple more years, I want to get out of the game, at the top, probably, 3, 4, 5 big fights, and I'll knock it on the head, I don't want to be coming out punch drunk and keep my good looks, So maybe a couple more years, as long as the big money fights are there, that's what motivates me. I'll be sticking about, but yeah, there's as many fights as I possibly can get in,
Obviously as well, enjoying the journey of your brother, your twin brother Gavin, who I know after the fight and a few beers down you were comparing who would win in a fight between the two of you. But I know you'll be an interesting spectator obviously for his next fight against Jeremy Parody on this huge card on October 24th.
Yeah, me and my brothers, we're on a journey. Yeah, he's achieving everything, what I achieved. I've been a pro 10 years, I think he's in about 4 years or something, you know what I mean? So he's a long way behind, but he's improving so much. I'm looking forward to his fight on the 24th. It'll not be too long before he's fighting for world titles, but I'm going to pick them all up before him at Super Bantam, vacate a few for him. And it's good, you know what I mean? But we're both in this. He enjoys boxing more than me. He watches. He knows a lot about fighters. Belts motivate him at the minute. You know what I mean? Whereas I pick belts up and stuff, and it's all about the money more than anything for me. But I know you need belts to get the money. And he's obviously in it for money as well. So hopefully we'll both keep winning and set up good lives for us.
Fantastic. And again, Jamie McDonnell, news will be coming in the next couple of weeks of his next fight. You heard it there first. Apparently he wants to get out before Christmas, so we better get on the phone, me and Dave, after this press conference. But again, a wonderful achievement, and one of the most underrated fighters in the UK, and delighted now that he's getting the credit and respect that he deserves. So thank you, Jamie, for coming along today, and we'll be up with Kel in about 10 minutes. Thank you.